You've got a perfectly good air conditioner, you change the filters, you keep the thermostat set, and downstairs it feels fine. But the moment you walk upstairs, especially at night, it feels like you opened an oven door. Here's the thing though, your AC is probably not broken. Your attic is cooking your second floor alive and your AC can't keep up because it was never designed to fight what's happening up there. Here's why. So here's the short answer for those of you who just need the quick version. There are 5 main reasons your upstairs stays hot even when your AC is running. Number 1, your attic is superheated and that heat is radiating straight down into your living space. Number 2, hot attic air is leaking into your living space through gaps and holes you can't see. Number 3, your ductwork is running through that same hot attic and losing cold air before it ever reaches your upstairs vents. Number 4, your attic isn't ventilated properly, so heat just builds up with nowhere to go. And number 5, your HVAC system may not be balanced right for a 2-story home. Fix even 2 or 3 of those things and you're going to feel a real difference. But if you want to understand why each one is happening and how to actually fix them, stick with me because once you understand this, you'll never look at your upstairs the same way again. Real quick, I put together a free guide called the Attic Air Seal and Insulate Guide. It walks you through exactly what to look for and what to tackle first. No tools are required to get started. Link is in the description, totally free. Now let's keep going. Part 1. Attic heat and poor insulation. All right, let's start with the biggest one, your attic. In the summer, a typical attic can reach 120 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. I've been in attics that felt like standing inside a furnace, and I'm not exaggerating. 130, 140 degrees on a hot day is completely normal. I see it all the time. All that heat pushes straight down through your ceiling and into your upstairs rooms. I always tell homeowners heat chases cold. It doesn't care about your AC bill, and your cool upstairs bedroom is exactly what it's chasing. Insulation slows that heat transfer down, but thin or compressed insulation barely slows it at all. If you've got plywood storage boards sitting right on your floor joist with barely 3 inches of insulation underneath, you've basically got no barrier at all. The Department of Energy says a properly insulated attic can save you 10 to 50% on your energy bills every year. Most homes are nowhere close to where they need to be. Now here's what drives me crazy. Homeowners add insulation and still have a hot upstairs, and they can't figure out why. The reason? Insulation alone is not always the answer, and that leads us to the next piece of the puzzle. Part 2, air sealing and stack effect. Okay, here's something most people have never heard of. It's called the stack effect. And once you understand it, a lot of things about your home are going to click. Think of your house like a chimney. In the summer, hot air from your attic is constantly trying to push down into your living space. And your air conditioner is actually pulling air upward, drawing that hot attic air down through every little gap and crack it can find. So where are those gaps? Recessed lights, those can lights in your ceiling, they are one of the biggest culprits. Every one of those is a hole straight into your attic. Your attic hatch is another one. Plumbing penetrations, top plates, where the wall meets the ceiling, all these are pathways for hot attic air to sneak right into your upstairs rooms. And here's what gets people. You can have brand new insulation up there and still have a hot upstairs because the hot air is bypassing the insulation completely. That's why air sealing matters first. Most contractors skip this step. It takes more time, so they just blow in insulation and call it done. Plus, air sealing isn't required by most codes. Then you wonder why nothing changed. I've even seen homeowners spend thousands adding insulation when they actually needed to air seal the upstairs first. Do it in the right order. Air seal, then insulate, and you'll actually feel the difference. Let me show you this visually. Picture your home as a cross section. At the top, your attic, superheated all summer long. Now imagine all those little openings in your ceiling acting like pathways for heat. The recessed lights, the attic hatch, the gaps around the pipes. Every one of those is a doorway that hot attic air can penetrate through. Your AC is down below pushing cold air up, trying to fight all of that. But if those openings weren't sealed, the heat wins every time. Now seal those gaps first, then lay down proper insulation over the top. Now the heat has nowhere to go. The cold air stays stays where it belongs in your living space, your upstairs rooms actually start to cool down. Your home is a system. Everything connects from the crawl space to the attic, and the order you fix things in matters just as much as what you fix. But here's the crazy part. Even if you nail the air sealing and insulation, there's still one more thing that could be stealing your cold air before it ever reaches your upstairs. Part 3. Leaky and poorly insulated ductwork. Your AC may be making cold air, but your attic is stealing it. In most homes, the ductwork runs through the attic. Mine does, so your AC makes cold air at 55 degrees, and by the time it travels through that 130-degree attic, it's already warming up before it even reaches your upstairs bedroom. People blame the AC when the attic is the real problem, and that's assuming the ducts are in good shape. A lot of times they're not. Flexible duct can become kinked or pinched, and a lot of contractors will actually strap them too hard to restrict airflow. Connections can also come loose. I've even found ducts that were completely disconnected, blowing cold air straight into the attic instead of the rooms. I've even seen brand new homes where the contractor forgot to connect the ductwork to the register. Homeowners are running their AC all day wondering why it's not working, and come to find out they're just dumping cold air right into that 130-degree attic. There's also what's called a supply and return air imbalance. Your AC pushes cold air in through the supply vents, but it also needs to pull air back through the return vents to complete the cycle. If there's not enough return air pathway upstairs, if there's only one return for the whole second floor, the system may not be able to do its job. The upstairs gets pressurized. The cold air can't flow in properly, and you end up with a hot, stuffy second floor. I see this constantly as well. Now here's a myth I want to bust right now. A lot of people think I'll just close the vents in the rooms that I'm not using and that'll push the cold air upstairs. But here's the problem with that. Closing vents doesn't redirect air, it traps it. Your AC system has what's called a static pressure. Think of it like blood pressure for your ductwork. When you start closing vents, that pressure builds up, the system works harder, the compressors start failing, motors start seizing, and your upstairs still doesn't cool down. You've just created an expensive problem on top of the original. What you actually need to do is adjust the dampers. Those are the control valves inside the ductwork itself, not the registers on the wall. A manual damper lets you properly balance the airflow without creating pressure problems. Unfortunately, most homes don't have dampers installed, but this could be added by your HVAC contractor. Closing registers is not the same thing as balancing airflow. Now, this is where most people mess up. They fix the ductwork and the insulation, but they completely ignore what's happening on the roof. And that's the fourth reason your upstairs stays hot. Part 4, poor attic ventilation. The bottom line is your attic needs to breathe. Most homes have a ridge vent at the top of the roof and soffit vents along the eaves at the bottom. Cooler outside air comes in through the soffits, heats up, rises, and exits through the ridge vent. That's called passive ventilation, and it works fine when everything is open and clear. But here's what I see. The soffit vents are blocked. Either the insulation was blown in without baffles. Those are the little channels that keep the insulation from clogging the soffits, or the vents were never installed right to begin with. When the soffits are blocked, there's no airflow. The heat just builds and builds and nowhere to go, and your upstairs pays the price. A solar attic fan can help move things along. It kicks on when the sun hits it and actively pulls hot air out before the attic even gets to the peak temperature. The main point here is simple. If hot air can't get out of your attic, it's going to find its way into your upstairs rooms. Fix the ventilation pathway, and you take a huge load off of your AC unit. Part 5, HVAC sizing, airflow balance, and thermostat tips. Okay, now let's talk about the HVAC side, because a perfectly good AC system can still leave your upstairs miserable. Two-story homes are naturally harder to cool, heat rises, cold air falls. That's just how it works. And if your system is in a single zone setup, one thermostat for the whole house, it's trying to cool both floors at the same time. The thermostat is usually downstairs, so when it reads reads 75 degrees and shuts off, your upstairs might still be at 80 or 82 degrees. The system thinks it's done, but your upstairs disagrees. If you have two thermostats, a zoned system, you've got more control. A good strategy is to run the downstairs AC during the day while you're living down there, set the upstairs to a higher temperature, say 82 degrees, while you're not using it, then around 6 or 7 in the evening, flip it. Let the upstairs start cooling down so that by bedtime it's comfortable. Your downstairs won't heat up fast enough overnight to matter. And if you've got a 2-degree offset between your upstairs and your downstairs thermostats, setting the upstairs at 75 and the downstairs at 73 in the summer, that helps prevent the cold air from overcooling the downstairs and leaving the upstairs starved. One thermostat and uneven temperatures? The fix is ductwork balancing. An HVAC tech installs manual dampers in the supply trunks and dials in the airflow for each floor. Simple concept, big results. This is the kind of thing we break down every week, so if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. 2 quick things before we wrap up. West-facing bedrooms are taking a beating in the afternoon. The sun hits those windows directly for hours. Old windows with no coating let that solar heat pour right in. Blackout curtains or window film can make a noticeable difference in those rooms without touching your HVAC at all. Simple and usually an affordable fix. And if your upstairs bedrooms feel worse at night than during the day, even after the sun goes down, here's why. Your attic stores heat all day long and keeps radiating that heat down into your rooms for hours even after sunset. The attic is basically a heat battery that keeps discharging long after dark. That's exactly why air sealing and insulating matters so much. They slow that discharge way down. Fix the attic right and your nights get a whole lot better. But here's something I didn't tell you yet. Everything we talked about today, the air sealing, the insulation, the ventilation, the ductwork, it all works together as a system. And if you skip one step, the others don't perform the way they should. I've seen homeowners spend thousands fixing the wrong things first because nobody explained it in the right order. That's exactly why I put together this free attic air seal and insulation guide. It talks you through what to do first, what to do second, and what mistakes to avoid. Most homeowners who follow this see a real difference in their upstairs temperatures within the first summer. It's completely free and the link is in the description. I hope this information was helpful for you. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more of this type of content. I am Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja. I hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and we'll see you later.